Hey there, it's Sandy. I'm back at the Babylock Solaris having some fun with some in the hoop embroidery tonight. And I'm hoping that I have better luck this time than I did the last time I tried to film this. Last week, I made this cute little in the hoop project. It's a mug rug for St. Patrick's Day for my husband. And I did video the whole thing. I was going to share it. My first in the hoop project that I shared, not the first one that I've done. And I didn't like how the video turned out. So I decided I would do it again and try filming it again. And the first one I made using the 6x10 hoop. This one is, I'm going to be using the 10 5/8 by 16 hoop. But the directions say I should be using, I think, 9.5 by 14, but I don't have that size. No, 9.5 by 12, 9.5 by 14. And I don't have that size, so I'm just going bigger. Hopefully it'll turn out okay. I always try to stay close to the size that they recommend when it's in the hoop, but I don't have that size, so I'm just going with what I got. The finished size should be 9 by 12.5. The first one I made using the 6x10, this one is 6 by 8.5, and I was able to do the whole thing in the hoop, including putting on the back where you can see it's like a little opening in the back. And this thing is so cute. I don't know that I'd want to put anything on it, but that's what it's made for. So that's what we're doing tonight, is the larger version, because I didn't want to make the same one twice. I wanted to see what the larger one looked like. This design is by Designs by Juju, and it's called St. Patrick's Gnome Mug Rug. And so let's get started. I'm going to go ahead and go into embroidery and then the pocket, because I already transferred it using the design database transfer software from Babylock to my machine wirelessly. So if I go into the Wi-Fi key, it should be at the very bottom, and there it is. So there it is, the larger one. I'm going to press set, and let's see how this goes. Now I've already hooped my project, so that's part of the instructions. Loading the design into the machine, hooping the stabilizer, stitching the placement line. So that's the next step. I already tried stitching it once and my machine got caught, so I'm hoping that I don't have problems tonight with machine thread. But it's stitching the placement line that I will use to place my batting. And I'll move you over there. And I'm going to try and just leave you over there, unless there's something special I need to show you on the machine. I also have a little table set up to the right of my machine, so I hopefully can take you back and forth and show you how I'm cutting where I need to cut, folding where I need to fold, etc. And if it gets too glary, I'll shut the machine off. Not the machine, the light. I did that last time and it worked out really good, but since I'm not really looking at the screen right now, I think I should be okay. We're going to see how this turns out. I'm trying to use up some of my old batting, so I used this special iron-on fusible tape. I took 2 pieces of my batting, I laid them together, cut across them to get the straight line. Got that tip from my local sewing center, the Sewing Source in Lakeville, Illinois. And then I used this tape to iron the 2 ends together on both sides. And now I have 1 piece. And I think I'm just laying this 1 piece over the top of the placement line, making sure that it lines up on both sides. And I'm getting my little purple thing. And maybe I didn't iron it enough. Well, anyway, the next one is we're going to run the tack down stitch. So that's this next one. I guess I could have pulled it down a little bit more, but oh well, it's working. And if I get scared that this is gonna like get caught on that tape, which looks like it's fine, I could always press the start stop for it to slow down. Looks like I got some thread wanting to get on the fabric. There. It might go around there twice. Yeah. Looks like we're going to be good. So this is the tack down. Then I'm just trim away the excess fabric. So I definitely will have some trimming to do. And it makes sense that it would do 2 rows of stitching on top of each other for the tack down. This is like securing the project to the stabilizer. I'm wondering if I have the machine slowed down. I'll have to check that after it stops again. Okay, so I think I can trim the batting with it in the hoop here pretty good without moving it. See if you can see. Well, you can see it pretty good. And I think I'm going to use, I like to use my embroidery scissors, but this one might work a little better. No, I don't know why, it seems kind of dull, and that one's pretty new. All right, let's just see how it works using my embroidery scissors. There's a... Next time I will... I think I'm going to try and get that other scissors from the other side of it. Here we go. I think I am going to take it out and trim it over on top of the table. All right, so I can move you over there in just a second. See, there's a little bit more light for you. I like to trim from like counterclockwise. I feel like that's when I will get the best trim around the in the hoop project. I almost need one more light over here if I'm going to be doing more in the hoops. I have so many in the hoops to work on. I don't know how many I'll share. I guess it depends on the response I get. The batting is probably the hardest one to trim to me. It's so fuzzy. Okay, I think that's good. Now I'll move this back and then I'll get the camera. Hopefully you saw okay. I'm going to rethread this because the next line, I think I'm going to rethread it with the white. It's a version of the white because the next stitch is the placement for the right side, if I remember right. And then after that, it does the quilting in the right side. All done in the hoop, which is really cool. Okay. So there's that. Gonna do this just in case. I don't know why I use the special tape, but I might not have ironed it as good as I should have. I thought I did. But this is the placement line for the right side fabric. And then I'm just using muslin this time. The last time I used some white fabric, I wasn't too happy with the fabric itself. Placement line usually stitches once in their designs. The tack down seems to stitch twice. So there's that, there's that. Okay, there we go. Got my little thing, and let's see here. Yeah. So it will stitch this down, the tack down. It'll probably go around there twice. I don't know whether the camera moved or what. And then I need to trim away. So I'll have to move you over to the table again. Hard to get good lighting tonight. Maybe if I turn this light over here. That's a nice size rug. I'm going to see if I have the speed down. Yeah, I do. There we go. So this part of the in the hoop doesn't take long at all. It's just quite easy. The part that took longest to me was the embroidery of the little gnome guy. And so I will take it out of the hoop. Comes not out of the hoop, out of the arm of the embroidery machine, and I'm going to move you over there. Trying to see. So I'm over at the table now, and unfortunately, the wonderful tablet, I touched the screen just wrong enough so that it turned off the camera, so I'll be bridging these videos together. This is the second time I'm taping it, so far the thread is breaking and the video is shutting off on me, but hopefully we will have no more problems. I'm just cutting around the muslin that I ironed on some stabilizer on the back of it, because the muslin just is nice to sew with, but it just needed a little bit of oomph. So that's what I did. You can use SF101. I decided to use an iron-on stabilizer. I think it was lightweight. It's hard for me to see with the way I got things set up, if you can see perfectly all the time, but all I'm doing is trimming the fabric away inside the hoop. And that looks pretty good to me, so I'm going to move it back and rehoop it. This is good practice too, because I plan to do the in the hoop purse. I have so many in the hoop projects. And I'm going to move you over there now. Try and keep my fingers away from the screen. Okay, so the next step is, since we've already trimmed away the excess fabric from the area on the right, so now we're going to stitch the quilt motif. And this is going to be done all in the hoop, designed by Juju. This part takes 8 minutes, and then I will be ready with my fabric. This is the left side fabric, and then 2 pieces for the back are here. They're already pressed in half lengthwise, and when it comes time, I will just lay that over. I'll overlap them on the back, but it's not time. You still have to do this side, the left side fabric, which is that light green, and the next one after that is all of the stitching for the gnome and the Happy St. Patrick's stitching. Once that's done, then all I have to do is layer the back fabrics on top of everything, just so, tape things down a little bit, and then it will stitch it closed. You'll see if you stick around. And I don't think I'm going to notice that the batting was taped together. The quilting will, if there's anything that's noticeable, helps to hide that. So it's a good way to use up my batting scraps. Definitely have a lot of those. I'll just go over the hoop size. As I mentioned in the beginning, since we have a little time to talk while this thing is stitching out, this little guy, the mug rug, I used some white fabric. It's kind of flimsy now that I look at it after it's stitched. I noticed at the top it seemed like it was pulling away there, and I looked back and I was like, that wasn't the way I cut it. It's so odd that it did that, but I fixed it. I just don't like that it happened. So I used a 6x10 hoop for that one, and it turned out to be 6x8.5, the finished size. And now this one, I'm using a 10 5/8 by 16 hoop. They called for a 9.5 by 14 hoop. Since I didn't have it, I'm using this one, 10 5/8 by 16. I think the key is when you have to go bigger, make sure your stabilizer's taut. And be careful when moving back and forth to the cutting table, because you don't want to like put it down or carry it a certain way that would cause it to stretch or the fabric to pull. So that one will finish. This one will finish to be 9 by 12.5. The design is designed by Juju. It's called St. Patrick's Gnome Mug Rug. It doesn't require much fabric. Even for this one, it only requires like an 11 by 14 piece of batting, 12 by 12 piece for this right side. Left side is 12 by 6, and then the back is 2 pieces that are 12 by 15 pressed in half. So it's not bad at all. And if I look over onto the monitor, let me see if I can get you moved in a little bit with my Zoom thing. I have a different Zoom remote that I'm trying out. And so that's pretty cool. I just have to remember to zoom you back. And on the screen it shows that the total stitch out is about close to 57,000, 56,830. It's got 26 thread color changes, but I would say a quarter of those are placement line color changes, and I don't always change the placement line color. Sometimes I do if I'm doing a video like this where other people have to see, but most of the time when I'm doing this on my own, I don't change it because I can see the placement line very clear, just whatever color's in there, usually. The total time, according to this, is 94 minutes. So I don't think I'm going to use the new software that I found to edit the video, because some people may want to watch the whole thing while others may want to watch just parts of it, and they can always fast forward. And then you should be able to, if you can't see close enough, be able to use your fingers to spread the video on your screen to see closer. So while I'm zoomed in, you can do that yourself too if you're still not close enough. But yeah, 26 thread color changes. A lot of that has to do with this Gnome, and he does have a lot of shading, because really all we've got left to the mug rug, to the rug itself, is the left side and the back. So all of the color changes are mostly for the Gnome, and then there's just 2 more color changes for the wording Happy St. Patrick's. It's a very simple project. I've done mug rugs before. When I think it was like a year ago when I first got my machine, I made a lot of Christmas related mug rugs. They were so cute and so fun and easy to do. I've got one that I never got to last Christmas. I had bought a really cute one. I think it was from Urban Threads. It was a train, and it's a wall hanging, a beautiful Christmas train, and you embroider it on like a black or a very dark background fabric. I also have one that's a Santa. I never got to it. I have so much to do, and then my machine was in the shop a couple weeks at least. So I got far behind and I wasn't able to complete those projects. I'm still playing catch up, but you know, time doesn't stop. So I'm trying to at least do one thing for each holiday. But besides those 2 in the hoop wall hangings, I'll probably work on one that I got from Designs by Juju. It's like a sewing related wall hanging. That will be so much fun. And last year I got a table runner, Easter table runner. I probably should do that one first because it's the oldest. And then if I back up even more, I had done a short video showing that I was going to be doing the 2 sweatshirts that I already did, and then working on my placemats for Quilt As You Go, I think it's called. And I got them all cut out, but I am not doing that yet because I'm not sure if people really want to see that. It's hard for me to know because I don't get enough responses to, you know, my questions about what you want to see, what you don't want to see. This is the placement line for the the left side. The green fabric. And I need to position the fabric strip with the right side facing down parallel to the placement stitch. So I'm going to go like this. And it says I need to, remember that's go 1/4 inch over the placement line because it's going to end up getting flipped up. So make sure I go up high enough. Yeah. Because I think it even goes higher, even though we're told to place it 1/4 inch above the placement line, it even goes higher. So as you can see, we got all this play. Got plenty of room. And I'll have to take it out of the hoop. Turning on the iron, because I'm going to have to move it over here. Yeah, it says take it out of the hoop. I'm going to move it over to my table. I've got my iron on. I'm going to move you over. My chair is in the way. Okay, so now we just move this back. And it says go ahead and press it with your fingers. Well, we'll see if this thing, I've got the mat underneath. So I think that's all there is to that. Yeah. So I'll move you back over. Okay. It wants me to tape down the fabric. I remember this now. It's only been a week since I did this. So, just so it doesn't flip up. Doesn't really show where to tape it down. I'm just going to hold it like that. Okay. So I'm going to do the tack down stitches to secure the border with the right side facing up. So this is the next step. I'm sure it'll do it twice. Yeah, looks good. And now the rest is all of these color changes that has to do with the wonderful embroidery 222, and this is where I follow my own. Let me make sure I got the right color. My own colors that I pulled out. So the first one is, it shows it's 222, and I didn't bother to change it on the sheet, so I'm going to go ahead and use that. But this is thread color 9, So it's the teal. Okay, it's definitely this other one in the back. I thought so. It's amazing how much you can forget in a week. Okay, we're ready to stitch. See if I can move it in there closer. There we go. Hopefully that will be good. It is definitely 222. And that's the color I have. I actually didn't use all of the colors that were called for. I picked a lot of my own colors, which I know many of you do. This color, the teal that's stitching now, is 16 minutes. So if you need to go get coffee or tea, if you're watching, feel free to take the time to do it. And I think it was this one, the beard, because the beard is quite large. It takes 8 minutes, and I think the black to fill in part takes quite a while, but the rest of it is just short stitching here and there to fill in the various colors. Tell me if you like me doing projects like this on film, if they're helpful, or if you'd rather see something else. I do love doing in the hoop. I just never film them because, like this one, will probably take me 2 hours, and you know, I don't know that people want to sit and watch that. If it was a live, that's another story. But then sometimes when I notice when YouTubers are taping live things, they can make mistakes. It's easy to make a mistake, and you don't want to mislead people. So if I do make a mistake and it's just a video, there's a chance I could edit it out or put words in there to say, you know, correct myself. I'm going to let that stitch and go get something to drink because it's pretty dry in here. Okay, so the next step is adding the back, positioning the folded pieces. So I'm going to make sure that I put the fold toward the center and over the edges. But it also shares that each fold should overlap slightly by 1/8 to 1/4 inch beyond the center. So you got to make sure it overlaps here and that you have enough here. Yeah. This side has got plenty. And this side, I think this is good too. And both the folds are to the center. They're overlapping. So I think we're good. Now, one thing it didn't say to do was tape, but I did do that because the foot will go over there. Now I'll put it back in the hoop. And I'm going to slow it down to 500. And I think that should be good. Get my little purple thing. And actually one more thing, raise the foot. A little bit more. So I raised it to 0.1. After this step, then I'll take it out of the hoop. I'll remove the hoop, take it out of the hoop when I get over to the table, and I'll move the camera over to there, to the table. But then you just do what you normally do when you turn something inside out. Clip the corners here, trim around the edges, 1/4 inch around, and flip it inside out, and I'll turn the iron on. So this is the last step of the mug rug. Take off the tape. This is just painter's tape. Looks like it wasn't fast enough. I'll take it out over here. Take it out of the hoop. And I'm going to move the camera over. Let's see if I can back that up anymore. There. That's as far as it can go. Okay, so I'll get this tape off. And I've got these wonderful scissors. 1/4 inch. And then cut over the corner like that. My chair is like right in front of me. Okay, let me move that. And I won't be twisting. Okay, that should do it. Now I should just flip it. And I got my point turner over here somewhere. Yeah, I do. Use my hands mostly at first. This is my point turner. I think it's by Clover. I don't know for sure. Just using it to poke out the corners. And I only have my little Cricut iron over here, but I can try and press it a little bit. There. Okay. All right, and the iron is hot, so let's just give it a little press. Looks really cute. Here's the other one. Let's see, can you see that? There. And I probably shouldn't press over the embroidery. Looks like I need to poke out that corner a little more. This one, it's not poked out enough. So I'll do that really quick and it will be done. So this is the larger size, as I mentioned. And it's just a kind of like a mini placemat. It's larger. There we go. There you go. There it is. 2 plates. 1 mug rug, one to me is like a mini placemat. Same colors except for with the letters I switched it. So can you see that? It looks like it's a little bit cropped, but I can't get farther away. That's as good as it can get. So happy St. Patrick's. There's the gnome. Here's the back. So this is designed by Juju. Hope you enjoyed the video. Give the video a like, share with a friend, make a comment, subscribe. You know the deal. And thanks for watching. Make a comment so I know if you like it. Okay? Thank you.